All right, so next up we got Sean and Paul from Creative Bytes. The game is called Embers of Mirum. Come on, guys, a big round of applause. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul. Oh, is this working? Yeah, okay, good. I'm Paul Caparici. I'm CEO and Project Director at Creative Bytes Studios.
And I'm Sean Jackson. I'm the Creative Officer and Art Director at Creative Bytes. So just to give you a little bit of background about Paul and myself. I actually lived in Montreal for a while working at Ubisoft, and then after that moved to St. Catharines in Ontario to work for Silicon Knights.
And that's where I met Sean. And I worked on titles like Metal Gear and Two Human. And after Silicon Knights went goodbye, Sean and we wanted to stay in Niagara, work in games. So we thought, hey, let's just work together because he's the art guy, I'm the tech guy, and together we can kind of do everything. So we started out helping other game developers, worked on Guacamelee, Rollers of the Realm, games like that, and worked enough to kind of establish a reputation that we could do our own game, which is called Embers of Mirum. So John will talk about it, and I'll show the video.
So Embers of Mirum is an adventure platformer where the main protagonist, Mirum, has the ability to split himself into two flying embers. And it features rich environments. You can use your embers to affect relics and creatures within the environment.
That's me. We're doing this. Yeah. Do you want me to go? About the chapter, please? Okay, yeah. So when we designed the game, it's a chapter-based adventure game. It's about 5 to 6 hours in length. And there's a lot of ping-ponging between the platforming and the dual stick mechanics. So we really want to feature dynamic pacing. So you go from platforming to chases to solving puzzles to boss fights, just so it always kind of feels fresh to people.
Yeah, and with Embers of Mirum, we tell a story with no dialogue. These creatures, they emote through kind of like feline actions. And the loose narrative around Embers of Mirum is that this mysterious spire forges two distinctly different creatures into one versatile hero that is charged with restoring balance and peace to the world from this corruption that is plaguing their land.
Like for the game, we were inspired by games that we used to play when we were kids, classical platformers, but we wanted to do something that you couldn't do at the time. So we thought that the two stick thing was kind of, they didn't have that on controllers, so we kind of mashed up platforming and twin stick controls and we just constantly ping pong between the two of them to give a unique experience.
Yeah, and a lot of the inspiration in terms of the visuals and the narrative and the context came from 80s movies, like 80s fantasy movies, I should say, like Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, Neverending Story, things like that. And we took a lot of inspiration from like their environments, their color palettes. Everything was fantastical in contrasting colors and playing with even like the creature designs. They're functional in terms of the embers affect them in unexpected ways. However, they also take on their own personalities that you can then interact with.
So we released this spring on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Steam PC, and then we just released last Thursday on the Nintendo Switch. There's also a full demo available on all the platforms as well.
And with Embers of Mirum, it's been received really well, actually. We have a 77 Metacritic on both Xbox One and PlayStation. And currently we're on track for an 80 for our Nintendo Switch. Embers of Mirum was also featured on Game Informer's nomination list as 2017's Best Platformer. And we're also in the list of Game of the Year from Game Informer.
Yeah. But a lot of competition there.
Yeah.
Nintendo had a good year. So why are we at MIGS? We're at MIGS to raise awareness for people who that aren't aware of it, because when we launched on Nintendo Switch, 18 games came out that day. So it's really been a challenge and a struggle to get people to know about our games. So we thought, how better than for people to actually play it. So for anyone who did play it, thank you so much. We hope they enjoyed it as much as we loved making it. And if you didn't, we're at the Indie Pod over there. You can play our 7-minute demo and come see that splitting is believing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.